Let's look at finding the sum of an arithmetic series. So this is when we want to add up all the numbers in an arithmetic sequence. So you can see over here I've got a formula for you. This is something you'll have to remember for me, guys. Sn is n over 2 a plus l. Now Sn, we're used to using Tn, aren't we? Now you're going to be used to using Sn, because Sn is now going to be the sum of the first n terms. So if you want to find all the sum of the first, say, 6 terms in an arithmetic sequence, you'd make n 6. So this is what it stands for. S is standing for sum. Now, you can see we've got A. A you should be pretty used to. A is simply our first term. It's as usual, A is the first term of the sequence. Now L, what do you guys think L is? L is a new pronumeral that you're going to be using for the sum. L is simply the last term. So if you know your first term and if you know your last term, use this formula. So you add the first term and the last term and then just multiply it by n over 2. That's going to be the sum formula. But now guys, what if you don't know what the last term is? In this case, we use another formula. So there's actually 2 formulas for sum. You'll have to memorize both for me, guys. This one's a little bit longer, so maybe you might want to write it out a few times just to memorize it. It's another Sn formula, so it's the same Sn. So if you use this formula, you'll get the same answer as you would get in this formula. But this has no last term. This one is n over 2, 2a plus n minus 1d. So we have d. You guys should know what d is. Sn still stands for the sum of the first n terms. And a, we know it's the first term. And d, you guys should remember that is the common difference of an arithmetic sequence. An arithmetic sequence has a common difference, don't we? That's what we're going to be putting into d. So if you know your first term and you know the common difference, you'd have to use this formula, which is a little bit bigger, but trying to get familiar with that for me. Okay, so make sure you memorize both, and let's see which one is more appropriate to use in different types of questions. So we'll start with question 1. It says find the sum of the first 10 terms. And they give us an arithmetic sequence here. It's a series actually, because we're adding it all up. And you can see that the first term is 1. So what I'm going to say is the first term is 1. It's just the first one in the sequence. And you can see that the common difference is going to be 2. 1 plus 2 is 3. 3 plus 2 is 5. And I just found that by doing 3 minus 1. And 5 minus 3, it's also 2, isn't it? So that's the common difference. So, guys, we'll have to use this big formula here because we don't know what the last term is. Let's find the sum using this formula. So we've got our A, we'll put it into here. We've got our D, we'll put it into here. And what do you guys think N is? It tells us to find the 10 terms, the sum of the first 10 terms, so N must be 10. So we'll put everything in. So see how I've put S10, the sum of 10 terms, and I got 10 over 2. 2 times A we know that it's 1, and then n minus 1, so 10 minus 1, and the common difference, which is 2. So, simplify everything, just do step by step, guys. 10 minus 1 is 9, times 2 is 18, and then 2 times 1 is 2, so 18 plus 2 is 20, and then multiply it by 10 over 2, which is 5, and you should get 100. Just do a step by step, and then you should get a value of 100. So the sum of the 10 terms in this particular arithmetic series is going to be 100. That's what you do. So let's go on to the next one, question 2. It says find the sum of the first 10 even numbers. Now, guys, what are even numbers? Even numbers, we start with 2, don't we? It doesn't start with 0, by the way, guys. It starts with 2 always. 2 is the smallest even number. And we've got 2, 4, 6, 8, and you know what's going to happen. And we want to add it all up to the 10th term. So I just wrote T10 for the 10th term. Whatever it is, we want to find the sum of it all. Now, I want you to use the formula, guys. So what I'm going to do is first find the first term, which is simply the first one in the list, which is 2. And you know that the common difference must be 2. Even numbers go up by 2, isn't it? And you can clearly see that by doing 4 minus 2, 6 minus 4. You know that that's going to be 2, isn't it? So, let's use our usual formula again. And what's n going to be? Again, they want the first 10 even numbers, so n must be 10. So replace the n with 10, guys. So I got S10, so 10 over 2. 2 times A, which is 2, plus n minus 1, so 10 minus 1, and the common difference is also 2. Guys, just simplify that for me. You guys should be able to do it. Make sure you do the brackets first and do this inside bracket first, and then multiply it by 10 over 2, which is 5, and you should get 110. So 110 is the sum of all the 10 terms, the first 10 terms in this arithmetic series. Now, let's go on to question 3. Find the sum of the first 10 terms. So again, we want the sum of the first 10 terms. Well, the first term is 3, and the 10th term is 45. And because we want the 10 terms, sum of the 10 terms, and they give us what that 10th term is, the 10th term must be the last term, isn't it? So the last term is 45. So guys, as I've said, first term is just 3, as the question says, and the last term is 45. So I'm going to make L 45. The 10th term is 45, so the last term must be 45. And the number of terms is simply 10. They say find the sum of the first 10 terms, so n must be 10. This time, guys, because we do have what the first term is and the last term is, we're going to be using this formula. So it's going to be n over 2, first term plus last term. Put it in. N is going to be 10, so we do 10 over 2. First term 3 and the last term 45. 3 plus 45 is 48. Multiply it by 10 over 2, which is 5. You should get 240. So that is the sum of the first 10 terms in this arithmetic series.